Hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too, I'm Bushcron Blitz, and today, number 5 on the all-time favourite tanks list, the E50M. This is the big German pie eater, and back when I first started playing the game, it was a tank that was pretty much universally hated. It was another one of the tanks that I really enjoyed because not many other people seemed to be enjoying it. But I've always been a massive fan of gun handling, and the E50M was just sublime. It brought the best gun in Tier 10 at the time to the fore, and if you liked that kind of playstyle, you loved jumping into a big German machine, gunmetal grey, whacking on a camo net and a pair of binoculars, and doing the best, then you were really going to love the E50M. The other thing it did really, really well was dominate other mediums, and it still does to this day. It's one of the funny things that at a time when Russian mediums were so incredibly well thought of, one of the few tanks that really gave them massive fits was this big dog here. The E50M is just a phenomenally tough nut to crack for a low-slung Russian tank. You can get up and face hug them and constantly touch them up, push into them, and do damage with your big-ass pike nose. Not pike nose, sorry, the tip of the spear nose. And you have great big whopping chunks of HE too for those light tanks. It was a tank that really never got its due, and it never got played in tournaments until very recently. The buffs to gun depression and the armor and all the other little bells and whistles has turned this into the most popular tournament tank in World of Tanks Blitz, which is a huge step forward from where it was back in the day, which was the red-headed stepchild that no one wanted to have a bar of. I was the one that really always wanted to have a bar of the E50M. I found it to be just such a fun vehicle. I did a massive collage of E50 and E50M Rams, and if you want to relive Blitz as it was in the good old days, go and watch that E50 video. I will put a card of it up here right now. Or actually, I'll do that towards the end of the video. So if you do want to watch that collage and see what the E50 and the E50M were all about, then you can go do so and enjoy it to your heart's content. It's still super tough. It is still such a pocket battleship. It is way more of a heavy medium than a medium heavy. Although it goes crazy fast. You can get this thing up to 60 and above, depending on the terrain and the verticality of the slope you're on. But what you get out of the E50M time and time again is just a blue-collar workhorse. It can fill a hole that a heavy would normally fill. It can fill a hole that a medium would normally fill. It's got a laser beam of a gun, and it's one of the most understated, well, it was one of the most understated OP tanks in the game. I'm really kind of disappointed nowadays that everyone is in on the E50M and that the secret is out and that it's now kind of just it's getting its time in the sun, and I think it deserves it, but at the same time, it was nice to have something special that no one really wanted, and that I found to be a real diamond in the rough, a real gem. And that for me was always one of the big draw cards in Blitz. It's one of the things that attracted me to tanks like the Carnarvon, like the Centurion 7-on-1, and it's one of the things that makes me still baffled when people tell me tanks like the Tortoise are bad, and you know, and that they can't get the Object 263 to work. These are tanks that I would run all day, every day, and still can, and still get really, really good results in. But that's one of the beautiful things about the game we play. It is that there are so many different ways to skin the cat. There's like 360 tanks, 365 tanks at last count, maybe more now. And of those 365 tanks, there are tanks in there that people just cannot stand, that I will drive all day long, and tanks that people will drive all day long that I simply cannot stand. I mean, hello Tog. Hello Churchill Game Carrier. You're paging you. Your number is up in the bistro. Please turn up. The hamburger with chips is ready for the fail tanks. So I drive this thing pretty aggressively, and I put it in positions that don't always seem sensible, but it gets the bounces. Other medium tanks do not want to be dealing with this thing. They sure as hell don't want to be dealing with them up close and personal. tanks like the you know, the T62A and the Object 140, you shove this thing up in their faces and face hug them, it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. It is, in fact, probably the strongest medium pound for pound in terms of armor in the game. There was a short, brief period of time where they buffed the ass out of the face cheeks either side of the gun, the turret cheeks either side of the gun, and this thing was just a hull-down monstrosity. And they remedied that, but still, I remember those as some fun days, fun days. I'm going to show you a couple of games now of the 50M doing what the 50M does best, in my opinion. That is bullying the medium flank and then turning around and just chaining down with the kind of gun that, you know, angels dream of. It's a funny thing now that the game's come to the point where the 62A has the best gun, in my opinion, in Tier 10, and the 50M just has one of the best guns in Tier 10. There was a point in time where this was the gold standard, the absolute gold standard, until they brought the Leo 1 in and its gun was the identical gun of the E50M in terms of accuracy. The 50M always lagged behind in the DPM stakes, and that's been adjusted to a large degree now. The Russian mediums have finally been brought back to the pack. There was no reason why the 62A and the 140 should have ruled the roost for so long with monstrously large amounts of DPM, but they did. The 50M was all about making good trades and just laser beaming people, and I really enjoy that about the tank. It still hits. I mean, can't help that it bounces every once in a while. It still hits, and you can see here just aiming it up, looking for that little bit of magic and wondering why the dirt's getting in the way. I mean, that's not much of a target there, but eventually they pull out and you put another shot through the poor old FV4202's turret cheeks. Why you'd put the FV in that situation? That's a really rough gig. Just building numbers. Thing that I do miss about this is there used to be more opportunity for ram kills. The game's got a lot faster now and the guns have got a lot bigger. There were never as many TDs out and about. There was always more mediums. So, I mean, I've got videos of me doing 750, 760 hit point rams to T62A at the base of the old Desert Sands gully on the far medium flank. And you just don't get that many meds now. I mean, look at this game. There is 3 TDs in this game. There's 2 heavies. And that's very much par for the course. Nowadays, you get a hell of a lot more TDs than you get medium tanks at Tier 10. At least it feels that way for me. And of course, the fact remains that nowadays you don't get +2, -2 matchmaking. So the days of rolling out into a T44 at 60 kilometers an hour as it desperately tries to get back around the corner on Middleburg is it's a thing of the past. And more's the pity for the 50M, but more's the good for the game. I mean, really, Blitz was not having a happy time of it with +2, -2 matchmaking. Rolling up against a 50M in a T54 Mod 1 or a T44 or a Super Pershing back in the day when it was unbuffed and really wasn't doing the business. That was horrible. It was horrible for all concerned, unless you were the driver of the E50M. I'm going to give you a look at one more game here, and this is where the 50M, this is its traditional role for me. The heavy in a pinch. There's no real heavies pushing the hill here for me. I'm holding it. I'm keeping the Batchat perma spotted. Same with 57 heavy. I'm just the pivot point right now for the whole team. If I can manage to keep this Batchat off the hill, if I can manage to keep the 57 heavy where he is, if I can keep my angles, hold for long enough, wait for someone to push the hill, I'll eat a shot from the grill. If the grill is going to wait, as long as I get someone to push this hill with me, we'll clear the Batchat, and then we'll just dominate the middle of the map. As mine should be dominated and do good things to bad people. Here we go. I'm going to take a hit from the grill. That's fine. He's going to hit me for 570. I'm going to return a lovely chunk of damage to him in just a short while as soon as we get rid of this Batchat. The 57 heavy is pushing on up. He's managed to nut the IS-8. Going to come down here, get one into him, and then get one more into him. There's his clip done. That's all 3. He's finished. Finito. We're up to 1,400 damage, nearly 1,339. There's the grill. One of the things a lot of people don't know about the E50M is that it's got a whopping big HE shot on it, as this grill is about to find out. 530 damage straight into the top of the grill. He's like, ow, really? That's a medium tank? Good stuff. And then we finish him off with the rest of it, 286. And we are ready to push forward and farm. That's all we're going to do here. We're just going to farm. We're going to do what the E50M really loves doing, which is using a gun that just won't quit, and a very aggressive young Yaggaroo to stat pad, pet stad, all the way home. Put that in your bank. 354. This poor old TD in spawn may look like he's about to get wrecked, but in actuality, this Yaggaroo, this is just horrible, isn't it? He has been caught between a rock and a hard place. Someone had to do the pushing, and it was him. And we're going to take all his hit points, put them in our back pocket, say thanks very much, and move on with life. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I'm enjoying making them, but more importantly, I've enjoyed playing them. It's Merry Christmas, Bushka. Oh, you know what I just had to do now? Play my #1 favourite tank in the game, which you will find out very shortly what that is if you stick around and watch the channel. I had to play it for 3 hours. What a tragedy that was. Had a mastery, had a couple of big games, had a lot of fun, and did it on the Asian server on my own account. So rock on, boys and girls. Look after yourselves. As always, stay safe in the battlefield. Hope you're having a great holiday time, great Christmas, great time off from work if you're taking it. If you're in the hospitality industry, my heart goes out to you. If you're in hospitality or retail, you're working harder than a one-legged man at an ass-kicking contest. Until next time, look after yourselves and stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now.